Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Let's get into the market recap for the session. Couple of trades to review. AMD, we talked a little bit about already, but fairly straightforward opening drive, really textbook. Big gap up. You had trending pre-market structure, and we started to pull back. On that pullback, it reset the RSI really nicely. And then on the open, you have this pivot to trade against around 403 from the pre-market after hours yesterday, and then also in the pre-market, we got some confluence there. And then on the open, we dipped and then held and turned. On that turn, that's where you want to look long, risking that low. So you're risking, a few points for a rotation back up to the pre-market highs, and that's exactly what played out. We ended up selling back to the mean and then made actually a new low of day and held. Now, at the time, the market was holding a key support area and did hold, started to push higher, which is why, looking at SNDK, looking at MU is at the same time, I rolled up here and went long on this bounce just because the risk reward was so good. And that if they did defend and kind of sweep that spot, I thought that we would, find our way kind of squeezing back up through the range. We got a bit of a trend move and we sold some here and then here for the roll up that played out really nicely. So really good stock selection today on AMD and pretty simple, straightforward trades, 2 for 2 on that. Tesla was a nice failed breakdown. I just want to call out Space Monkey caught a nice trade on this one today. So you had, if you go out to the 30-minute here, you can see from the after hours yesterday, you have a really nice sweep under there. It's a very textbook failed breakdown of that pivot in the after hours from yesterday. So you sweep that. You also have key level just below it. This within a couple points is support on the higher time frame between 383, 384. That also held, swept that pivot and turned higher. So that turn led to a nice push back up to 400 and a little bit of a break above before retreating into the close. So that's a pretty textbook example of breakdown. Wanted to call out, and then also SPX intraday. So we had a nice trend day. You gap up in trending, so good move overall for the market. And then you have this flag that sets up. Once we started breaking higher, we had some positioning as far as gamma was concerned that led to that being a nice opportunity upside. Tried to put a spread on. I was a little bit too close. So there was a really large positioning, 60 to 65, and I should have gone outside of that window. I was being a little bit too greedy, I think, with it. I'm trying to get a little bit more premium, thinking that if we close even on 60 or just slightly below, I'd get the full premium. But it ended up popping above and closing right on 65. So, next time. I would say the lesson there is just to stay outside of that positioning. Basically, 65 had a very large sell node that I was looking to trade against. But really, if anything, honestly, a butterfly would have been really good here, or just going to 70 or 65, 70 on the spread idea. So a lesson there was a little bit just too aggressive, I think, with the where I was looking to get positioned for that trade. But the idea was correct in terms of picking where we would close. Just would have been better as a butterfly or going a little bit further out of the money on the spread idea. All right, outside of that, Swiss Monkey's holding a little bit of Tesla 400s. Those are looking good. Watch list into tomorrow. Let's run through some names and then we'll wrap up. So S&P, just over the prior day high, pretty straightforward. And then let's see, AMD, Google, Circle. AMD, day 2 tomorrow. So we close in the middle, a little upper middle part of the range. Not bad. So we don't look at a break of the prior day high or the prior day low for a trade. Circle, 122.83, very key level for the stock. This looks set up for a swing. You saw me ride this for a swing for a pretty long time. Then we pulled back, and now it looks like we're ready again. So I'm willing to put another swing trade on here. This is looking really good. Google tagged that 400 today, had a nice close. Looking for a move over 400. It's a nice psych level for the stock, and it's been leading mega cap. So looking really good. Google tomorrow breakout over 400 on watch. Tesla we talked a little bit about. Higher time frames, just really trying to stay outside of that channel. We've back tested the downtrend break a couple times and are trying to push higher here. So we held key support around 383, 384 and had a nice push higher today. Look for that to see some continuation, 407, 417 next. Then we've got Meta and ARM. So Meta, we talked a lot about this. This played out perfectly from our pre-market conversation. the 600 spot holding, traversing back to 621. That's exactly what played out. So going into tomorrow, look for a break into the gap over 620, 621. And if not, the next time we break 600, that's a high conviction short. ARM had some earnings, so that's obviously one of the names that's been flying. Earnings look good overall. We're retreating a bit here, so we need to wait for pre-market structure tomorrow to see where this thing is at. But overall, we'll look, to trade this if it sets something up for us on day one as it's gapping up over the highs. That's what I got for you guys. So have a great rest of your day. We've been on fire this week. Um, Hope to continue to do it again tomorrow. So see you in the morning.